DMST, domestic minor sex trafficking, defined as the recruitment, harboring, transportation, provision, or obtaining of a person for the purpose of a commercial sex act under the age of 18 in the U.S. A form of modern slavery, America's youth sold on the streets. In cars and houses, hotels, motels, no city is exempt from this. Lured, exploited, abused, robbed of a childhood, stripped of their lives, stripped of all human dignity. Look out, take a look, and you'll see stories in their eyes. You'll think, what a shame. How did you end up in this godforsaken place? Well, you see, poverty, homelessness, child abuse, instability, hunger, substance abuse, neglect. These are just some of the risk factors involved with this crime. It's not right and it's not fair. These kids are deprived before they even touch the streets. Confused, desperate, afraid. The injustices begin before a transaction ever materializes. And how are they controlled? How are they kept? They are kept with violence, false intimacy, intimidation, threats, isolation, confinement. They are convinced that their lives are owned, and not by themselves, but by the people who are paid. They are convinced their lives belong to their traffickers, whether it's parents, a lover, or maybe even a stranger. Alright, so those are all the problems, but now what? What can I do? I mean, come on, trafficking of kids in my own backyard? California, Texas, Florida, Ohio. How am I supposed to make a difference? Well, people, keep your eyes peeled. Take away the film glazed over your eyes. Peel away the ignorance filmed over your eyes. Clean off the fog that's clearly designed to keep you ignorant, silent, completely blind, and maybe, just maybe, you'll see the lives that aren't living real lives. You can't fight a crime you can't see. Victims can't be heard if you aren't listening. Call the police. Refuse to stay silent. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Thank God you're wrong. But if you're right, you could save a life that was lost. You can bring aid, you can bring healing, you can bring a breath of refreshing life. One decision can make a difference. Your silence is a decision. Your silence makes a difference too. In the field of social work, the field where the battle can take place, the big picture, we need to speak up. We must refuse to stay silent or just go with the status quo. It's our job to bring DMST to the forefront of politicians' minds. We can be the voice that won't shut up. We can be a voice that endures, perseveres, fights. Legislation, policy, education. We have the ability to bring some consistency to the fight against injustice. On a micro level, there's work to be done. Prevention, intervention, rehabilitation. These are the jobs that are desperately called. Prevent. We know the risk factors. It's time to put them to use. Identify, educate, and protect America's youth. Intervene. We know it's happening right now, 2018. The cancer of DMST has perverted every city, poisoning the lives of millions. We cannot wait, we cannot ignore. Rehabilitate. So many people see a criminal, when in reality it's a child. We blame and persecute, brand with the scarlet letter. But these are children, victims, our children, our victims. Instead of punishing slaves, let's rehabilitate and redeem. Now, you may want to go on and say, man, what a case. I haven't heard of something so horrendous in days. But then you'll go on, continue with your lives, go back to your reality, forgetting that there are kids that are completely neglected. I plead that you don't. I plead that you say, I won't stay silent, not today.